Hello and welcome. You're tuned into Buy Now, Sell Now on ET Now. I'm Srishti Sharma and with me as always is Cheryl D'Souza. And viewers, this is the show where you get answers for all your stock related queries. In a short while from now, we will connect with our experts. But before that, let's have a look at what the markets are up to. Cheryl, the first day of the week, and what are stellar gains on both the benchmark indices and especially Bank Nifty Index. No stopping today.
Absolutely. A very good morning to you, Srishti. Turning out to be a brighter morning coming in for the markets. No doubt a tad bit of dip actually creeped in for the markets. But from there on, we've actually seeing a good up move. And yes, we are near the day's highest point when you talk about the benchmark indices. Like Srishti was mentioning, it is the Nifty Bank Index that is actually moving ahead. 1% uptick coming in from Nifty Bank, outperforming the benchmark indices in today's trading session. Let's take a look at what the broader markets are doing, because there the trade was a bit subdued when you compare it to the benchmark indices, and there you go, mid-cap index trading flat with a positive bias. Ditto coming in for the small cap index as we speak, but they are significantly off the day's highest point. Talking about the advanced decline ratio, a tad bit tilted in the favor of the gainers as of now. And if you look at the advanced decline ratio, it's actually worsened a tad bit from the opening session. If you actually take a look at the way how the advanced decline ratio has moved over the last 1 hour or so. Talking about the list of gainers, then you have the private sector banks as ruling the charts on the Nifty. IndusInd Bank, ICICI Bank, Kotak Mahindra Bank among the top three gainers on the Nifty, followed by Ultratech as well as Tech Mahindra. While on the flip side is Apollo Hospitals that is reacting to that news, as well as you have HCL Tech reacting to its earnings, Bajaj Auto, HDFC Life as well as Adani Ports among the losing side of the markets. Talking about the sectoral indices then, and taking a look over there. And if you look at the sectoral indices at this point in time, you have the banking index with good gains, media index with good gains. Realty, auto are taking it very easy in trade today, with the realty index being the top sectoral loser in trade. So that's the way how the markets are looking like at this point in time. Srishti, yes, on the benchmark front, really good gains coming in along with Nifty Bank.
Well, yes, all eyes on that. But if we take a look at the broader markets, then the number of declines have actually increased since the start of the day. So let's have a look at that breadth as well. But with this, viewers, let's kickstart taking all your stock-related queries then. It's a simple process to connect with us live every day. You can connect with us by writing to us on the WhatsApp number that will be flashing on the top of your screen, as well as you can also write to us on our social media pages, that is X as well as Facebook pages. And today, to answer the same, we have two of our very special guests joining us. First of all is Kunal Bothra on the technical front, and in a short while from now, Ashish Maheshwari will also be joining us on the show. So let's get it started with Kunal itself then. And the first query that I have, Kunal, is coming in on Aster DM. The viewer name is Satya, and he's thinking of buying Aster DM after exiting Piramal Pharma. Is it advisable right now? What to do in this one? Piramal Pharma, do you believe that it is a good point to book out some profits, and then maybe he can look to invest the same in Aster DM?
Good morning, first of all. So I think I would probably look out that Piramal Pharma is a much more better chart. Aster DM, the stock, I think has corrected very sharply in the last few weeks. Piramal Pharma, on the other hand, I think is just about on the verge of a breakout about 140-44 mark after a decent phase of consolidation. So when we look at this relatively, it's always better to go with strength rather than anticipating that a sharp weakness could probably be bought into for stocks in a very short span of time. So I think going by that, I would suggest that stay with Piramal Pharma if you've not exited this completely.
Alright, so that's the take coming in on that stock. But talk about Bandhan Bank then, Kunal. The next viewer is Mohit, who's writing to us from Ludhiana, and he has 500 shares of Bandhan Bank that he purchased at a price of 187 rupees per share. His time horizon is 2 years. He wants to know what to do with Bandhan Bank. What's your take on this one? Do you think it's worth holding on to for a 2-year period, or with the next up move one should book out profits?
See, I think it could be a good strategy to try and hold on to the stock, but the only concern is with the charts, which have been disappointing consistently. So I remember, I think almost 4-5 months back, the stock had come back to that 265-270 mark, which was the breakout point, and immediately post that the stock could not provide that adequate breakout, and it failed and it reversed quite sharply. So when we look at the charts, it's been a disappointing name. Frankly, over the last many months, there have been many a times when the stock has come closer to a breakout, but it's failed to provide that breakout. So that's the only concern with a stock like Bandhan Bank. Maybe in the next few months or the next couple of quarters, the stock may show signs of turnaround. But there are a lot of probabilities over here. Nothing which we can probably ascertain with a higher degree of certainty as such for the stock price. I would probably believe that it's better that if try and shift to some other names. I think there are a lot of evolving large cap private sector banking names which are looking attractive. Axis Bank, I think, is one of the better names over here, even ICICI Bank. So I think if you can make that switch, it's better. But you may probably get a chance to get an exit on Bandhan Bank in the next 2 years, at least at higher levels.
Right then, Kunal, the next query that I have is coming in from Balakrishnan from Chennai, and he wants to know, is this a right time and price to buy L&T Finance right now? One of the result candidates, but not much excitement post that. The stock is almost flat in today's trading session, but do you believe that should one enter at this point in time?
See, I'm very bullish on L&T Finance, and my expectation is that the stock in the next maybe 12, 18 months or so, I think should come back to that 200 plus levels. I also believe that the stock is going through a patch of high degree of volatility, but then when you look at this, it's confined to a trading range for L&T Finance. So I think closer to 150 approximately is a key support. On the upside, 175 is where the stock has taken multiple resistances. But then when we look at this in a time horizon of 3-6 months, it says that the stock is consolidating. So whenever the stock breaks past about 175 mark, which I think should happen in the next 3 months or so, I think the stock could scale past about the 200 plus levels also. So would be bullish on L&T Finance, and if you have that kind of a time frame and risk appetite, you can go forward for a buy.
All right, let's take the next query on Affle India, Kunal. This one is from Megan. Megan has about certain shares since 2021 of Affle India. The buy price is 935 rupees per share. Megan wants to know whether to hold or look to exit this particular counter right now. What's your take coming on Affle India when you talk about the charts of this counter?
Again, a chart which is a bit restricted because I think only from 2019-20 approximately is where the data is for Affle. But then, the stock has done exceptionally well. So from a point when the stock was at 200 from 2020 odd lows towards 1400 mark, it's almost like a 6x, 7x jump for Affle. Now, it's always natural that when stocks have limited price history, when they shoot up significantly high in a short period of time, these stocks, they go into 3, 4, 5 quarters, maybe 2-3 years of consolidation also on a stretch. But then if these stocks, they rarely provide any major correction, which means that the next round of up move should be on the upside for these stocks. And I would probably believe that looking at the contracted chart history, if and when the stock breaks past about that 1400 levels, the next target which you can keep should be in the tune of 2000 plus. So it's a matter of patience. You've been holding on since the last 2-3 years. I would believe give it another couple of years. And whenever the stock breaks past about 1400 levels, a very strong new uptrend could begin.
Okay, that's a hold coming in on Affle India. But with this, viewers, it's time to slip into a very short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back to take more of your stock-related queries.
Welcome back. You're watching Buy Now, Sell Now on ET Now, show where we get you answers for all of your stock-related queries. You can connect to us on the WhatsApp number flashing on the top of your screen. And we've already actually kickstarted taking some of your stock-related queries. We have our experts, Kunal Bothra, and now we also have Ashish Maheshwari joining us on the show. Once again, good morning to you, Kunal. Good morning to you, Ashish, and hopefully I hope the Wi-Fi supports us today. So let me try and take as many queries I can to you right now. This one is coming in from Jai Krishnan. He wants to know about Bajaj Auto for the medium term. Is it the best auto stock that one can enter into? And also, does it make sense for him to enter right now, or what would be the right price, you think?
Yeah, as far as Bajaj Auto is concerned, I'm expecting very robust set of numbers again in this month also. But only thing is, as this whatever the fancy which was on account of buyback of shares, etc., was there, I think that is over for timing. And Maruti numbers are also not that appealing for the market. So there's some amount of consolidation expected in Bajaj Auto, Maruti, and Hero MotoCorp kind of stock. In my view, a good level of buying if you are looking for fresh entry will be 8,400 rupees. just wait for some correction in this stock before fresh entry. 1 year target will be 9,500.
Ashish, very good morning to you. The next query that I have is coming from Vinod, and he's holding more than 700 shares of BSC. And today, as we know, that the stock is down on the back of SEBI's direction for BSC to pay the regulatory fees, and that will impact the earnings as well of the company. So, what's your take on BSC right now? Because today the stock is down about 17-18%, but Vinod's buy is of around 500 rupees. So he's already sitting at good gains in this one, but is that a hold or sell?
In my view, it's a hold. Only on account of one, this regulatory fee, etc. The fundamentals of the stock exchange won't change. Maybe they will content this verdict of SEBI in the court or with higher appellate authority like SAT, etc. So I think it's a knee-jerk reaction for BSE. In fact, we are advising at 2,800 rupees. Still entry can be done in BSE stock because there's no change in fundamentals or as far as stock exchange is concerned. So this correction should be used to accumulate this stock in your long-term portfolio.
All right, Kunal, this one is coming to you from Prathamesh. He's writing to us from Mumbai. He wants to know if Laurus Labs can be bought at current levels for a period of 6 months or so. What do you think about this particular counter? No doubt, after his earnings, the stock saw a dip, but then also intraday recovery was very solid on Friday for this one.
See, I did an extensive study on the three key names, Laurus Lab, Metropolis, as well as Lalpath Labs over the last couple of days. And I strongly sense that there's a turnaround of sorts which is happening into the sector, because most of the stocks have shown signs of change of behavior, change of price trend for themselves. These stocks are not susceptible towards very sharp phases of correction. Yes, these stocks, they go into that odd phase of correction, but then when you look at this on a larger extent, these stocks have been holding on to their previous key supports and moving up higher on a on a staggered basis. So that indicates that there's a new trend in the making for these stocks. I would probably advise that if possible, and if you can bifurcate the capital which you're looking to allocate on Laurus Labs, which is amongst the high beta, which is amongst the one of the very high beta stocks amongst the space, into all three of the stocks, say in a equal manner, equal proportion, I think that could be a better strategy. Metropolis, I think at 1650, 1700 levels looks good for a target of 2000 plus. Lalpath Labs, I think, looks attractive for a target of 2650, 2700 plus mark. And same would be the case with Laurus Labs, so a potential target of at least 10% over the near term.
All right, then, Kunal, once again, a query coming in for you. This one is from Gaurav from Bangalore, and he wants a short-term targets for two counters. Firstly is Engineers India, holding 500 shares, but his buy price is 233 rupees. And he also has Zomato, 500 shares at a price of 190 rupees. In the short term, any targets to look out for?
See, I think both these charts are very attractive. I'm not sure if you are specifically looking out for just short term only, depending on your overall construct of your portfolio as well as trading scenario. But I would recommend that if you can hold on to both of these charts from a, say, medium term to longer term angle, that's where I would believe that the bigger trend could get unleashed, because what's actually happened is that these stocks have run up majority of their course on the very short term charts. For example, Engineers India, I think today hit level of 244 to 43 approximately. And when we look at this in the last 2-3 weeks, the stock has gained some 15% or so from 210 odd levels. Zomato, I think 200 seems to be a strong psychological resistance, and the stock is taking a natural pause at those kind of a target prices. So I would believe that if you can hold on to it from a medium term play, then the upside could be significantly higher. You may see a further 20 to 25% up move into both of these names if you can. But from a short term play, I think I would probably keep 250 and 200 as a respective target for Engineers as well as Zomato.
Right. This one's for you, Ashish. This one's coming from Fred, and he wants to make new investment for a period of medium to long term in a couple of counters. And if you look at the way how he is actually been trying to spot trend in the market, he's actually looking at all of these stockbroking companies or companies that will benefit with the rise we've seen in the markets. So some of the stocks that he is looking at, one of them is Nuvama. There is Anand Rathi, IFL, Angel One, also brand concepts that he is looking at. Out of these 5 names that he's given, which one do you think is best positioned to benefit in the longer run?
I think you can segregate your portfolio in 2 parts. One is the wealth management company and one is pure stockbroking company also. So in my view, here the best bet are again Nuvama Wealth. Though stock has moved up quite a bit, the stock has doubled in the last 6 months, but still the way their portfolio is growing and the investment banking, etc., they are now coming in big way. So Nuvama Wealth is my pick number one with a price target of 7,000 rupees. And in stockbroking, I like Motilal Oswal Financial Services because I think Angel has raised already funds and whatever upside was there slightly captured. But Motilal Oswal Financial Services is still a lot to go from here. So for a price target of 3,000 rupees in 6 months, this is my bet number two in this space. The space looks very promising.
All right then, the next query, Kunal, that I have is from Sitaram Ganesh, and he wants your view specifically on GSPL. Can he buy GSPL at current market price?
I think the stock is at 300. It's gone through a bit of a correction. I'm not sure whether it's a special situation for the stock, and it's fallen from 398 to now 300 levels approximately. So, that could be a bit of an overhang. But then I think on the medium to longer term charts, it's a very high beta stock. If possible, and if you're looking at, of course, not related stocks as such, but then I think GNFC could be a much better bet. The stock has shown signs of a breakout. It's more consistent. GSPL is a lot more high beta, and with this recent correction, the stock has created a major resistance for itself. So every minor rally for the stock would be taken as a, would be met with ideally a lot of resistances. So I would probably suggest GNFC, which could be a slightly better bet.
All right, this one is coming in from Ashwin. He's writing to us from Mumbai, Kunal, and this one is for you. He's a big fan of you and also the Pathshala as well does the chart check also. He likes, he's a big fan of you and Pathshala as well. And now he wants the chart check for TVS Motors. Does it look good for the next 5 years? He's saying the RSI looks overbought on monthly times.
Thank you so much for that. First of all, now on TVS Motors, the only concern, so there are two concerns which are emerging right now over the last 1 month. If you've seen that there has been a relative underperforming, wave which has come across into the auto pack. So right from the likes of Hero MotoCorp to a sudden correction, Bajaj Auto, Maruti today, I think taking a bit of a backseat. Tata Motors stuck into a trading range around this 900 to 1000 odd mark. TVS Motors, I think the last 2 months or so, the stock has corrected more than 10 to 15%, I think from 2200 plus levels. So there is a strong wave of underperformance. TVS Motors also, I think, is going through that patch of underperformance. Now the concern is that the stock has actually made a 3-month, 4-month swing low. The indicators are hugely overbought on the longer term charts, which means we are looking at a period where for at least the next 3 months or 6 months, these stocks can remain into a trading range or go into a corrective phase. So I think you should not be in a hurry to buy TVS Motors in a nutshell.
Okay, don't be in a hurry to buy TVS Motors as of now. But Ashish, the next query that I have is coming from Guru, and he's been writing to us for quite some days now to have a take on two counters. Firstly, a Shipping Corporation of India Land and Assets, the one of the recently listed counters, and the other one is Indraprastha Medical Corporation. Do you believe that any of this stock is good for a fresh investment right now?
As far as Shipping Corporation Land is concerned, already stock is near 52-week high, just 5 rupees away from 52-week high of 77, 78. So this is a stock like a proxy play for real estate as such portfolio. So this is the reason because all realty stocks are doing well. This stock is also performing well, and they are having very decent size of real estate which they are going to monetize. So surely this is a good bet. I'll suggest to enter in this stock maybe at some correction 65 to 67 level because stock has really moved up quite a bit. As far as the Indraprastha is concerned, again this is a very performing stock standing near 52-week high, and all these hospital stocks we have seen very good performance in these stock in last 6 months, and this performance will continue because the way purchasing power is going up and the way Ayushman Bharat scheme of government is being implemented. I think this stock will continue to do well. I'm very bullish on hospital sector as such, and maybe Indraprastha Medical is also a good bet.
All right, let's move on to the next query then. This one is coming from Catherine, who's writing to us from Mumbai. She has two queries. One is 700 shares of JTKT India at a price of 170 rupees per share. Kunal wants to know what's of a target to keep out for this one, and also Anup Engineering, at what time or what price should one look at buying this one?
See, JTKT, I think you can continue to hold on, trading now at 180 plus levels. It's forming a bullish flag formation on the charts, and there are two time frames. So, for example, on the daily time frame as well as on the weekly and the monthly time frame, the stock has formed that kind of a pattern, which means that we could be looking at a potential bigger breakout. But I would probably sense that you may have to go through a bit of a patient waiting period, because the stock may tend to consolidate first on the longer term time frame before it tends to get into a much more bigger uptrend. So I think if you have a target, a time frame of say 6 months, 9 months plus, then you could be looking at a potential target of 220 plus as well for the stock. For Anup Engineering, the stock has done exceptionally well. I think, if I'm not wrong, the stock has gone through a special situation. I think it's a bonus or a split for the stock, and that's why I think from 3,000 odd levels, the stock has come back towards, in terms of price levels, towards 1,700 odd mark. I would believe that a better price to buy Anup would be closer to 1650 levels. That could be a nominal zone where the stock may get into a retracement, but that should be a very strong support zone for the stock.
All right, this next query is coming in from Mayank Saraf. He's writing to us from Delhi. He has 1,000 shares of Schneider Electrics at a price of around 600 rupees per share. He wants to know whether he can add some more of this counter for the next 2 years. Ashish, what's your take over Schneider Electric? Do you think that someone who's already holding onto this counter, some more purchase can be made? His initial buy price is 600.
I'll suggest to remain invested, or in fact, a fresh entry can be also done in electrical goods stock. And the way we have seen other stock performing, maybe Polycab or KEIs or now Havels, this is again a good sector and theme which will continue to run at least for next couple of years, because the way construction is happening, the infrastructure development is happening, and there a lot of replacement is happening in existing home and industries. These companies will continue to do well. So Schneider Electric is a buy in my list also.
It's a buy coming in on Schneider Electrics. But moving on, and Kunal, any view on IndusInd Bank? Jennifer Patel, who's writing to us for the first time, I believe, is holding 30 shares at a price of 1,496 rupees. The stock is on the up move today. But any short-term targets to look out for in this one?
See, so far the strength in the private sector banks looks like it's coming back, but then IndusInd Bank is not one of the best performing names relatively. So when we look at the price comparison, Axis Bank, ICICI Bank, they are amongst the top two in terms of the price performance relatively with respect to the other large cap peers. Then comes in HDFC Bank, and then the likes of IndusInd Bank and Kotak Bank. They are the ones which come into the last league. So in terms of the price performance relatively. So amongst the top 3-5 names on the private sector banking name, I would believe that if you are holding IndusInd Bank, there can be a scope where the stock may get into a recovery of the underperformance. But I would believe maybe 1550, 1575 could be a good short-term target. And if you're looking at a much more stronger and a convincing uptrend, then I think you should go with Axis Bank or ICICI Bank.
All right, Kunal, this one is coming from Anjali from Nasik. She's bought UPL May futures at 505. Hold on to this one or look to exit?
Well, you can continue to hold on. I think the stock seems to be forming a major bottom for itself around this 450 to 500 range. The only concern with UPL is the spate of news flow for the stock, which every now and then dampens or hampers the stock price trend over the very short to medium term. So unless I'm expecting that there's no major news flow, then you can probably continue to hold on to the stock, and maybe with a expectation that this uptrend would probably gather pace, the stock may come back towards 540, 550 mark.
All right then, the next query that I have, Ashish, is coming in from Poonam from Punjab, holding 250 shares of Lakshmi Organics and a buy price is 283 rupees. Any view on this one?
Lakshmi again, once upon a time favorite of his street, and then has not rewarded at all for quite some time. Even your chart is also saying 6 months, just 4 rupees up. So in my view, such performance will continue from such players, because whatever the euphoria was there related to this chemical and specialty chemical stock is getting over. So my suggestion will be to book profit from this stock.
Right, so that's the take coming in on Lakshmi Organic. But on that note, we slip into a break on this edition of Buy Now Sell Now. When we come back, we'll continue taking your queries. Don't go anywhere.
Answers for all your stock related queries, and today to answer the same we have Kunal Bothra as well as Ashish Maheshwari with us. So let's keep it going with all the stock related queries then, and the next query that I have is coming in from Shashwat from Delhi, and Kunal, he wants your view on Aurobindo Pharma. He's holding 50 shares and his buy price is 980 rupees. How do you like this counter in the pharma space, and if you can also highlight some of the key resistance as well as support levels for the company?
See, I think it's an attractive chart. I think you should hold on to the stock. It's come out of a major corrective phase. I think I remember a point when the stock I think had fallen from 1,000 rupees towards some 400 or 500 odd mark. 50% correction. From there, the stock recovers into almost like a V-shaped recovery. So it's a very strong recovery for Aurobindo Pharma. I think you should stay put into the stock. On the upside, there's a minor resistance at 1165 to 1170 mark, which is the previous major swing high in the month of January for Aurobindo Pharma. But I strongly believe that in this leg of uptrend, that should be taken out. So hold on to the stock.
All right, that's a hold coming in on Aurobindo Pharma. But the next query that I have, Ashish, is on Dudla Dairy. The viewer named is V Murli, and he wants your view on Dudla Dairy since his okay, considering excellent results, what's your view on Dudla Dairy at this point in time? Would you still suggest a buy on this one? Can he go ahead and buy at current market price?
Yeah, Dodla is in fact a very good play as far as agri or dairy sector is concerned. We have seen very good return from Britannia, Parag Dairy, as well as Nestle also in this space. And even last quarter, which was a winter quarter, we have seen their profitability went up by 10 crores quarter over quarter. So in my view, Dodla is again a good bet. We are expecting again very good set of numbers in this company also going forward. So you can buy this stock. Maybe like the stock has corrected already from 1080 to 950. So 920, 930 levels will be a good entry point here.
All right. This next query then I have is coming in from Sampath Malu, who's writing to us from Pune. And Sampath has 236 shares of Persistent at a price of around 312 rupees at an average price. Also has Gabriel India, about 1,000 shares at a price of 205 rupees per share. Kunal, the viewer wants to know what to do with both of these counters. One is Persistent as well as the other one with Gabriel India. And also with Persistent, does it make sense to add some more?
Well, I would suggest that wait out for some more time for Persistent, because maybe the stock can continue to go into a drag further. Just a point when the stock actually comes back into a breakout and say makes a pattern of higher highs and higher lows, that could be a first indication of a reversal. It's okay that if you buy that phenomena could probably occur at a maybe 5%, 10% premium at current market price, but then you will save a lot of time and energy rather than just buying the stock and hoping that there could be any kind of a revival. So it's always better to try and time your investments, or especially a point when you're looking to average. Gabriel could be a good buy. The stock has already confirmed that breakout and major completion of a sharp correction. It's come back towards the previous resistance point as a breakout level, which means the first instance of a high and higher low pattern for the stock. I think you can look to average that.
Right. Then the next query that I have is coming in on LG Equipments, and Ashish Thomas George wants to know, do you like LG Equipments as a company, and is this a good buy at current market price?
In fact, in air compressor segment where this company operates, they are having a majority position in India as far as market share is concerned. And the stock has given very good returns also in last few months. 650 will be certainly a good price to look at. But the only thing is, as the liquidity is limited in this stock, because most of the stock is mobbed up by FIs and DIs along with high promoter holding. So liquidity is slightly low, but fundamentally very good company, and I see very good potential for this company going forward. So you can surely enter at this price.
Right, Kunal, coming to you. This one is coming from Sujit, who's writing to us from Mysore and wants to know about Motherson Sumi wiring. He's purchased the stock at a price of 59.4 rupees per share, around 840 stocks or so of Motherson Sumi wiring. So wants to know what sort of strategy should he use with this one? Should he continue to stay put with them or exit?
Continue to stay put. The stock is going through a patch of a very, I would say, a dull phase of consolidation because it's stuck into a 3 rupee, 4 rupee kind of a band. 68 and 72 broadly is the band for Motherson Sumi wiring. So I think in that aspect, you may probably just want to wait out for some more time before the stock breaks out above 72 plus mark.
All right, that's the view on Motherson Sumi wiring. But Kunal, how do you look at HDFC Bank at this point in time, given the up move in today's trading session? A viewer who didn't share his name, but I think that he's writing to us. Okay, his name is Kulkarni from Pune. Any view on HDFC Bank right now?
See, I would be bullish on HDFC Bank, and I look at it relatively in this manner that in the last phase when the stock had to come out with results, there was a very sharp carnage for the stock from 1700 mark. It had fallen down to 1400, 1450 in just a matter of few odd trading sessions. This time around, the stock has shown a very subdued kind of a price correction, and the good part is that the stock is trying to hit the 200 moving average. So I think there have been 2 or 3 attempts towards the 200 DMA for HDFC Bank. So you can either be a bit more patient and wait out for that 1550, 1560 level to be taken out. That could be a confirmation of a buy. But if you want to just about get into a slight anticipation, then I think buying at 1500, 1520 mark where the stock is trading right now could also be a good bet.
All right, this one's coming from Pramod writing to us from Palakkad. He wants to know about KFIn Tech. He's already purchased 250 shares, Ashish, at a price of 340 rupees per share. He wants to know for the next 2 to 3 years, can he hold on to KFIn Tech?
Yeah, it's a very good buy. In fact, we have seen consistent bull run in this stock, and every quarter DIs and FIs holding is going up in this stock. And the way other stock in same sector, be it CDSL, etc., are going up, or now AMC's stock, they have also started performing. A stock like KFIn, where they are market leader, will continue to do well. So 1 year target even for this stock will be in 4 digit in my view. I'm very bullish as far as KFIn Tech is concerned.
Quite bullish on KFIn Tech, but Ashish, the next query is from Ajay. And any of the stock from the AMC as well as brokerage space that you like at this point in time?
Yeah, Aditya Birla AMC, after a long period of consolidation, we have seen the stock has started performing in line with all other Aditya Birla Group stocks like AB Capital, AB Money, etc. So Aditya Birla AMC is one of my bet here. As far as wealth management is concerned, again, Nuvama Wealth can be a good buy, but AB Capital should not be missed. I'm very bullish on AB Capital with a price target of 300 in next 6 to 9 months.
Next query is coming in from Sugumar from Chennai. JP Power is a counter. Kunal, 10,000 shares at a price of 16 rupees per share. He is making profits of about 3 rupees on each of the stocks that he's holding. Should he book out?
It depends on your risk appetite, your portfolio construct as such, and I don't see any reason why you should be just sticking around with a stock like JP Power for too long. You've made your trading gains. You can maybe wait out for say 2022 as a broader target for the stock price. But then I think eventually you'll have to come back to a point where your portfolio would require wanting towards moving towards a quality stock in the power space. Tata Power is of course one of the formidable names over here. I would also recommend that go for CESC, the stock which has recently come back into a mild breakout mode. I've been very bullish on the stock at those 90 to 100 odd territory. I would still believe that the stock looks good for a target of 180 to 200 plus over the next 6 to 12 months.
All right, that's the take coming in on CESC. But with this, viewers, let's kickstart taking all your queries in the rapid fire session. And the first query that I have, Ashish, is on Premier Explosives. Shaikh is holding 20 shares at a price of 2,625 rupees. He's at a loss at this point in time. But is this good to hold for the long term? And the stock is Premier Explosives.
Yes, Premier Explosive, part of again defense play and can be remain invested.
All right, this was coming from Reema from Pune. For the long term, Bajaj Finance, buy, Ashish?
Yeah, long term Bajaj Finance is surely a buy.
Okay, Kunal, Charanjit Singh wants to have a take on IDFC First Bank holding 1,000 shares at a price of 97 rupees. What to do in this one, hold or sell?
Hold on, look to average closer to 79-80 mark.
Alright, Zenith Kausar has Himadri Specialities 150 shares at the price of 300 rupees per share. What's your take on this one? Himadri Speciality a hold. What's your Ashish?
Yeah, continue to remain invested. 6 months target 450 for sure.
Kunal, what's the short-term take on Tata Power? Shivanshu is having 7% gain in this one right now. Good to book profits. Continue to hold.
Continue to hold on.
Alright, this one is coming from Bhagwan. He wants to know about Gujarat Ambuja Export 300 shares at a price of 169 rupees per share. Kunal, what to do with this stock, and also is it a good buy?
Not a good buy. I think if it comes back towards say 175 to 180 mark, that could be a good territory where we look to book profits.
Alright, Kunal, the next query is from Prem and he wants ACC within the next 1 month. Any outlook on this one?
Would be very bullish on ACC, and that would be a formidable cement stock which you should hold on from a portfolio. Targets of 2650 to 2800.
Alright, this one is coming from Mahesh, who's a senior citizen and wants to invest 2 lakh rupees. Ashish, do you think makes sense to buy HUL, Marico, Dabur in equal proportions for a period of 1 to 2 years?
Oh, I'm afraid I'm not that bullish on this particular pack. In my view, railway, defense or PSU can give you much better return than FMCG pack, where a lot of competition among them.
Alright, Kunal, one more short-term query for you. This one is from a viewer, Satya, holding Tumble Fertilizer from a price of 395 rupees. Any short-term target?
So I had recommended the stock at 375 levels. Would be very bullish even at current levels. If you can hold on for 3 months, then time frame, then I think 500 could be a potential target.
Alright, and with that we come to the end of the rapid fire as well as the query segment. Thank you so much Ashish as well as Kunal for joining us in the show and patiently answering all of the stock related queries. And with that, viewers, we are totally out of time on this edition of Buy Now Sell Now. So it's a goodbye from Srishti, myself and the team that put the show together. But stay tuned, Markets at Noon coming up next.